I go to Dillard University, which is a HBCU, and that's a historically black college and university in New Orleans, Louisiana. So with that being said, over 90% of our students are of African American descent. And we're in Louisiana, so of course there are more Republicans in that state, but in New Orleans, that's where we hold most of like the political power. As you can see in this race that we just had, re-electing John Bel Edwards. New Orleans did that. New Orleans was that push, and it was college students, black college students. So when people say college students don't vote, that's not true. When people say black people don't vote, that's not true. Because when we vote, we matter, and when we vote, it elevates it. So a few strategies that I used, and I'm a junior urban studies public policy major, so I'm very big with politics in New Orleans. A few strategies that I actually used was March to the Polls. So I helped found this event called March to the Polls, and it's a way to get people excited about voting. I made sure that people got transportation, so there's no excuse on why you can't vote. Oh, I have a job, we'll wait for you, and we're gonna make sure that you have transportation. Oh, you have a class? Guess what? All those classes, you're gonna get excused absence or tardiness, so there was no excuses for not voting. So with this March to the Polls, we rallied everybody up. We brought media attention. So we got the local news anchors to come out and spread the word to the other colleges in New Orleans, who ended up actually meeting with us to march to the polls. Fortunately, the march wasn't too far. You know, people love to complain, and it's hot out there in New Orleans. So we were just able to walk literally across the street to the library, and that's where we marched to the polls. But it wasn't even about how short the distance was. It was the fact that we did it as a collective. So that's just one. And one more thing that we do is tabling. I know people hear it all the time. Tabling gets so tiring. People just come for the free stuff, but tabling works. And sometimes you have to go to the students. The students are not always gonna come to you when you have a discussion, when you have an event. It's about meeting them halfway, or even meeting them 100%. I'm gonna go into the classroom, I'm gonna tell you guys a few things, 5 minutes, just give me 5 minutes every time. Or let me go to the cafeteria and let me just talk to you about voting, or just pass out this voter registration card, or even better yet, let me pass out a card that lets you know what's on the ballot. So it's not just about voting; it's voting responsibly. So that's one thing that college students, or that doesn't even get really heard around, or people don't hone in when they're talking about voting on college campuses. So I'm not gonna talk too long. We're gonna go ahead and get into this activity, because I want everyone to leave this room with strategies, and strategies meaning how to get people involved with voting on the college campuses, but also connecting and having that liaison in that relationship between your college campus and your community. Because community-based that's where the strength is, and that's where everyone is as a collective. Remember, can't always do as an individual. Collective, that's power. All right? So